Hello everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel Devotion of Knowledge. Today we are back again with another video. But in this video, we are not gonna do any kind of problem solving. But in this video, we are gonna understand what is API and we will be writing a code of developing a REST API using a Flask framework of Python. And we will be writing the code for client as well as server. We will be implementing a very simple functionality to understand how the API works, and we will be seeing execution of each and every step. So let us first of all understand what is API. Now, many a times if you guys might have studied operating systems, there you would have studied that there are two modes, mainly user mode and kernel mode. So whenever user mode tries to communicate with kernel mode, API comes into the picture. So API stands for Application Programming Interface. Let us consider one scenario. This is one PC and this is one server. Okay, let us consider example of Google Colab. Whenever people are working on any ML project, they are using Google Colab. So for example, Colab provides access of GPU, which is graphical processing unit, for execution of some very resource point of view, very complex programs. So this PC, the user is working on Colab. So user sends his code as well as all the resources to Google Colab. Google Colab implements this code in its machine and it returns that whatever the output of that code is. So here there is input and here it is output. So all these things are being taken care by API. In simple words, API can be explained as, for example, consider this as a restaurant. So these are the tables that where you are standing, uh, means, and this is the kitchen. So waiters can be considered as API because waiters take a request from the customer sitting on the table. They pass it through the kitchen, which is server in this case, and the waiters take whatever the dish is prepared from the kitchen to the customer sitting on the table. So all these things are done by API. So we are going to implement the logic of API using a Python framework named Flask. Now, Flask is a very lightweight framework and it is very easy to deploy as well. So, we will be implementing a very simple functionality of concatenating two strings. This is one string, this is another string. We will send these two strings to server. Server will process these two strings and it will return a final concatenated strings of these two input strings that we give. Okay, so let us directly head towards the writing of code. Hereby, I am not explaining that what is virtual environment and all that, because the code of Flask is always preferred to be written in virtual environment, because virtual environment provides all the related functionalities, and many a times in Flask the version of code is also different. So always prefer writing code in virtual environment, and I am not explaining how to install this virtual environment because you will find a couple of other videos on YouTube as well, how to install this virtual environment and all that things. So first of all, let us write the code for server. So server will take two string as input from the request from client and will return the concatenated strings. Okay, so first of all, we will start writing the code. So first of all, we have to import some of the modules from Flask framework, which is from Flask import capital Flask. Another one is request and JSONify. So request is the module which lets the code handle request, which will be coming from the client code. And another one is JSONify because mainly whenever we return any processed output to the another module or output of an API call, it is always sent in JSON format. Okay. Now we will be initializing our Flask app using the name. And now those who are not aware, in Flask API, routes has to be created. For example, like this. This is one route because whenever the slash API endpoint will be there in URL, this particular code that we'll be writing here will be executed. So here, let us give the name of route as concat because we are gonna concat two strings and methods will be always, not always, but in our case, it will be get method because we are not willing to post anything into the database. Get method just makes sure that the request from the user is coming and all the data that the user is sending is accessible on this side. Now we will be writing a function def merge. Now what this merge function will do, it will take two strings as input from the request which is coming. It will concat these two strings and it will return the final merged or resultant string to a client back. So first of all, whatever request is coming, we have to take them as input. So first of all, we have to write this in try block. Let us give one name str1 equal to, okay, this is the particular format. First of all, we have to write request means whatever the request is coming and request dot args means whatever arguments will be there, it will be accessed using this much of line request dot args, and among that args we will be writing get str1 because we will be giving name str1 and str2 whenever we will be calling, and the same line will be there for str string 2 as well because we will be taking two strings as input. The result equal to str1 plus str2 because we will be merging these two strings, and after finally merging or concatenating these two strings we will be return JSONify, and in that we will be returning it under the name of result and with the key as a result and the value for that particular key is result here. And if this try block is not executed, some error occurs, then we have to write except function here, and yes, this will return JSON format str is if some error occurs, so 500 code will be sent, and all the code for main logic is written, but now we have to write the code which will be main required for executing if underscore underscore name equal to main. We have to write this particular code because this is the main code for implementing the Flask line or Flask code app.run. Now in that we have to keep debug equal to true, and host for this we have to write 0.0.0.0 because those who have studied computer networks once they will be knowing that 0.0.0.0 IP address means it is accessible from everywhere, anywhere in the world. Whatever the request is there, irrespective of that, it will process that request. Now we have to specify port. So in standard case, port is 5000 only. So this is the code of server which takes, or here we have implemented this route. Whenever slash concat request is there, get method is specified We will be taking strings as an input, we will be concatenating them, and we will be returning them in JSON format. Now this is the code of server. Now we have to write code for client, which is responsible for sending the request. So for this, we have to import requests, and let us first of all initialize the IP address for the server, because it will be http slash slash and whatever IP. Okay, no worries, we will be getting this from here. So control J, let us run this python server.py. Some error is there. Mm-mm-mm. What error is there? Return JSON if I. Okay, my bad. This has to be covered in this round brackets. Exception is E. Let us remove this try and catch block. There is no as such need of writing this try and catch block. Okay, this is our server running, and this is the IP address. So this is the IP address on which the server is running. So let us uh, store it here in a variable. Okay, this is the IP address of the server where on which it is running. Now let us stop it for some time. Now we have to take two strings. Okay, str. Okay, str1 equal to, let us take my name Soumya. Str2 equal to my name and my surname. Now here we have to include try block because we will be sending a request. So requests requests dot get, because that particular server that we have written here will return the concatenated or merged string. So here we have to write get because it will be returning, and we have to get that particular output we have to mention get. Now here request dot get app string has to be specified, because here initially we have to first give the URL in this IP address. So first of all, it will be the server IP, and then we have to specify the particular endpoint. So what was the endpoint here? It is slash concat. So after specifying the URL, we have to give concat. After specifying the URL, we have to give whatever the parameters that we will be giving. So parameters that server is accepting is two strings with the name str1 and str2. So here we will be writing PRMS, which stands for parameters, and we will be returning these two strings or sending these two strings. Now, whatever the response will be given from this request, we will be sending this, storing this in a variable named response. Now, this response data will be sent, will be received. So let us print response here dot JSON, because the data will be coming in a format of JSON, and we'll be just printing data block. Just a second. Okay, so now in accept block, we have to just write what is the error that we are giving. But I also think here there is no need to, uh, you know, bind it in the try block. So now I think the code is sufficient. So first of all, let us run the server.py. It is running, and from this side, we will be sending API request client.py. Okay, install requests module is not there, so we have to install this particular module using pip install. And now we have to return the output. Oh, sorry, now we have to call the, okay, data is not defined. It's the error. Okay, data equal to response.json. Because the, okay, yes, as you can see, we were sending two strings, Soumya and Ramani, but in output, you can see Soumya Ramani is the concatenated string that we are receiving in the output. So now you can also reverse the two strings, str1, str2. We have changed the logic. Let us call the function again. And as you can see, Ramani Soumya is in the output. So what is being executed is that we are sending these two strings to the server which is running separately. It in real it might be running in US, Canada, or any another country or any another part of India as well. So what this server is doing, this server takes these two strings as input, merges them, and returns that particular string as a JSON format with a key value of result. After calling that function, the response will be coming from this request. We are storing that particular response in JSON format in data, and we are printing that format. Let us print the whole data also so that you can get idea. See, this is the result coming from the server. Result and the concatenated string which is Ramani slash song. So this is the main use of API. Many a times this is a very simple form of API in real whenever you are participating in any hackathon or working on any real project. This APIs are really very complex because, for example, you have prepared a front end on another PC and your model is run or is developed on another PC. So both of them have to be connected using this API, and in that many times once I participated in hackathon, so there we developed an API which takes a request from another PC, which is having around 18 features that gives me a list. And yes, this is my API that I developed, main.py. Yes, so this is the API that I developed. It takes all these features from front end and it runs all the code, runs the model. As you can see here, model is running accuracy precision score. It runs the model, uh, then predicts that particular list that is coming from the front end. It predicts and returns the prediction, probability, threshold, status, all of that using this API. So in real, APIs can be this much complex as well, as you can see. So yeah, that's it from my side for this video. We will be meeting in the next video very soon. Please give this problem a try, or not problem, but please develop API on your own as well. You guys will really enjoy this. We will be meeting in the next video very soon. Till then, keep learning, keep hardworking, follow the channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much.